What's up? Welcome back to Taco Potato Mustang. I'm Matt. If you watched my last video, you know what the plan is for today. Got some rear lower control arms from Maximum Motorsports that are going to go onto the Fox Body, and the bushings that go with the control arms. And also I got some OEM springs and some new spring isolators that I will be installing with the control arms. Pretty excited about getting this done today. Let's do it. Okay, first things first, I got the car up on jack stands with tires and stuff underneath for extra safety. And I'm going to remove the sway bar bolts from the lower control arms. Sometimes I forget that I have an impact wrench. That just saved me a lot of a workout. There is the sway bar. Okay, I've made no progress since I removed the sway bar. It seems that I might need to try and get the muffler out of the way to access the one of the bolts, the front bolt. It's kind of hard to see. So here's part of it for the excuse me. And the other one on the other side is the muffler is kind of blocking. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get the muffler out of the way a little bit. So the method that I was trying previously was taking too long. Well, more like not working. So now I am following a different approach. I loosened the lower shock hardware, and then I'm going to pull out the quad shock, and then if I do that on both sides and then lower the rear axle slowly, I should be able to take the tension off of the springs and then pull them both out. And then once those are out of the way, I can try to focus on the actual control arm bolts. Once again, this is taking longer than anticipated. One of the springs and the bottom part of the rear part of the lower control arm out, but I still need to find a way to get the front part up here. Hopefully it'll be easier since I have the bolt out on the rear, but we'll see. It's like 6 hours later and I have not really made any progress. Let me show you the issue that I'm dealing with right now. I took a break for a little while because I was just getting frustrated. So basically the problem is so I'm supposed to be accessing the front bolt for this lower control arm, but there's not enough space between the muffler and where the bolt is to get it where it needs to go. And it's hard to see. So I want to say that the solution is to remove the exhaust, but I have a feeling that's going to end up being more of a pain in the ass than I anticipate, and then this process is going to take even longer, and oh my god. Why? This is the situation that I'm dealing with. I got the exhaust off partially, and now I'm kind of better able to access the bolt on the control arm, but it is a huge pain. I would not recommend doing this on a 32-year-old car. Okay. Let's see the moment of progress, maybe. It only took me like 7 hours, but I got the passenger side control arm out. Here is the bane of my existence. Oh my god. Let's keep these bolts where they need to go. Jeez. Okay, so now I'm going to put the new bushings in the Maximum Motorsports control arm. As you can see, it's 4 pieces if you include the middle section. Okay. Now I'm going to put the inner bushing, maybe. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to do the crush tube last. Okay, so I'm gonna put grease on the middle section of the bushing. I'm gonna push it down as much as I can. And then doing the outer section. And also want to make sure you put some grease on the inside of the bushing so that the crush tube can go in fairly easily. Let's see. To the flutes of the bushing. So it says to use a screwdriver or something else to work the grease into the flutes of the bushing. I'm assuming that the flutes are these, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, these little gaps in the middle circle to grab a screwdriver. Now let's try to get the crush tube in. Okay, got that side done. It's a little bit messy, but it works. And now I will get the other side done. Basically the same thing. Okay, I got the new control arm set up with the bushings and put a little bit of grease on the part that's gonna go into the chassis. So now I need to install the spring isolator, which hopefully won't be too much of a challenge. Woo. And then get the control arm back in. Okay, I took a break for dinner, and let me show you where we're at right now. I have the new spring and spring isolators on, and the new Maximum Motorsports control arm, and the new OEM spring. And this thing that's in the spring, I just transferred it over from the OEM spring. I have no idea what it does. I don't know, maybe it reduces noise or something. I have no idea. And I just reconnected the shock on the passenger side. So now, well, I'm not gonna do it now, but in the morning, what I need to do is I need to tighten up the bolts on the shock and on the both of the bolts on the upper and lower, or the front and back of the lower control arm. I need to get the exhaust reconnected, and then I need to move over to the driver's side and basically do everything that I did today, and hope that it also does not take like 11 hours. Yeah. This has been quite a day. I never want to do anything with control arms on any car ever again. Ever. It's the next day, and my entire body hurts after spending the majority of yesterday getting one control arm done. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself to finish this battle. I'm so exhausted. Okay, I finally got the driver's side control arm out. It only took me like 2 or 3 hours. I don't even know. This time I just pulled down the bracket for the exhaust hanger because I could not get the other one. I couldn't get the rubber piece off of the muffler hanger, so it was the only way to get enough space so that I could get the impact on the other side of the body side of the control arm. What a pain, what a huge pain. This is the worst process. Now I gotta get the other control arm put together and put it up one step at a time. Oh, by the way, one thing I would highly recommend if you're ever doing this is get the car up as high as possible, probably on all 4 corners, rather than just having the back jacked up, or maybe do like ramps in the front and jacks in the back just to get like as high as possible and enough space to maneuver around, because my body is in serious pain. Feels like I just did like 3 hours of jiu-jitsu or something, or an insane amount of weightlifting. So exhausting. Ugh. Okay, today has been another long day. I am getting close to done though. Let's see. Wow. So you can see the passenger or the driver's side. I have the new control arm and the new spring, and everything is tight. I got the sway bar back on. Passenger side, I got the control arm and the spring. Got the exhaust hooked back up in the back, but those kind of oval shaped clamp things in the middle, it's extremely difficult to get them tightened. So what I'm trying, there's not enough space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the car back together in terms of putting the wheels back on, get it off the jack stands in the back at least, and then lift it up either in the front or I guess on one side, and just try to give myself enough space to get in there and tighten up the exhaust, the X pipe. You can also see I got the rear shocks and quad shocks reconnected. And there's, I think I showed this earlier, but there's what the new control arm looks like and the new spring. Oh my God, I'm never doing anything with control arms ever again. I swear if I ever have to do anything related to control arms, I'm paying somebody to do it. I did the front lower control arms on the Dude Stang, and it was like a nightmare. The upper control arms on the Fox Body took a long time, but nothing compared to the lower control arms. So I'm just over it. I hate control arms. I hate them. Never again. I'm dying inside. You see this dirty car? Don't mind the dirty fingerprints all over it. It's finally on the ground. Woohoo! It took me forever to get the exhaust fixed because one of the bolts on the X pipe was not, I don't know if it's stripped or what, but it's not working. So I had to go find something to make work, and I got the car all put back together. And now I'm probably gonna take it for a drive and make sure it doesn't fall apart. the longest weekend ever. Landon from Late Model Restoration told me it was only going to be 3 hours. He lied. You lied, Landon. Okay, so I've driven the car probably 2 or 3 times since I installed the lower control arms, and so far, knock on wood, nothing has fallen apart. I don't really know. I can't say I've taken on enough of a spirited enough drive to say how much of a difference it made in terms of performance, handling, whatever. It's been kind of cold and rainy lately, so I don't want to do anything stupid, particularly given the tires that I have on the car. But yeah, that whole process is, at least for me, it was not easy or particularly smooth. So I think, like I mentioned earlier, if you are doing the lower control arms on a Fox Body, I would highly recommend lifting the car as high as you can get it off the ground, safely, of course, and also removing probably the exhaust from the cat back if you have cats, and just from basically whatever goes after the X pipe, depending on your setup. If you can do that easily, it just makes getting to the bolts that are closer to the front of the car, the bolts that are connected to the body or frame, easier to access and easier to both loosen and tighten. So yeah, but I'm happy to have it done, and happy to move on to some other things soon. So maybe I'll start tackling the power steering pump this weekend, or try and get the car up high enough to take a look at some of the spots where it's leaking oil. So I also want to check the transmission fluid. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel and you like my video, please hit subscribe and keep an eye out for more Fox Body Mustang Project videos. And yeah, hope you're staying healthy. Hope you're staying safe. Peace out.